Okay, in the previous classes, we studied about matching network using impedance that is ZY Smith chart. Okay, so ZY Smith chart, that is in unit 3. We have the other applications of Smith chart also, ZY Smith chart. Okay, we will now see how to use a Smith chart to do the other applications. That means, as you know, in a transmission line, there are a lot of parameters are there to find. Okay, so when you treat the interconnect as a transmission line, for example, like this is a interconnect. It is used to connect source to the load ZL here. Okay, so there are a lot of parameters are there when the signal travels over a transmission line and it reaches the load ZL. So because of characteristic impedance and propagation constants of the transmission line, and because of mismatch between the transmission line characteristic impedance and the load, there is a reflection. Due to this problem, there are many parameters we need to find while designing the load or while designing any circuit whenever there is an interconnect behaves like a transmission line. Okay, so here, as the if ZL is not matched with the characteristic impedance of this transmission line, there is a reflection. So we need to find out reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient. That means ratio of reflected wave divided by the incident wave. Okay, how much reflection is there? So to find that, we know there is a equation is there to find the reflection coefficient. So that is a tau here. Tau is the reflection coefficient. At the load point, how much reflection is there? That you are finding using ZL minus Z naught divided by ZL plus Z naught. Okay, Z naught is a characteristic impedance. That way we are doing. That is a mathematical expression to find the reflection coefficient. Because the reflection coefficient says how much reflection is there from the load. So if a reflection is more, that means lesser power is delivered to the load ZL. This load, as we know, it may be a some circuit, other circuit, next circuit, maybe input of a next circuit. Okay, so if there is a more reflection, means to the next circuit, less power will be delivered to the input of a next circuit. Less power will be delivered. That should not happen. Actually, what we want, entire power must be delivered to the next circuit, like ZL. ZL is as I said, it is the input impedance of a input of a some other next circuit. Okay, so we should find out how much reflection is there. Okay, based on the load ZL, there is a reflection. Okay, based on the value of ZL, it may be a load, may be any reactive or a complex impedance. Complex, it has a real term as well as the reactance term. Based on this impedance, there is a reflection. Okay, and also based on this impedance, the phase of the reflected signal also is different. Okay, so we have to find out how much reflection is there from the load. Okay, and also our intention is to deliver maximum power to the next circuit or to the load ZL. So to find out a reflection coefficient, instead of using that equation, mathematical equation, ZL minus Z naught divided by ZL plus Z naught, we can use this Smith chart to find the reflection coefficient. You can easily do that. Okay, so to do that, what we have to do on the Smith chart to find the reflection coefficient too, we have to mark the load impedance on the Smith chart. See, like this is ZL here. ZL is the 2 minus J1 normalized impedance. First, you should find out the normalized impedance. Okay, here is a normalized impedance itself I have taken. ZL is equal to 2 minus J1. This is a load impedance. Okay, this is characteristic impedance is a 50 ohm. It is given, and dividing the given impedance by 50 ohm, we got this normalized impedance 2 minus J1. So to find the reflection coefficient graphically, we have to mark this normalized impedance on the Smith chart. So this is a point here. This is the one. So here this is R is equal to 2. R is equal to 2. That means resistance value is 2. So you should see the resistance circles here. See on the Smith chart, these are the resistance circles. As we know, these are the solid lines, whatever here are the resistance circles. And the circle values are written here. Okay. So here R is equal to 2. Here this is a value. So you can see here R is equal to 2 here. R is equal to 2 and X is equal to 1. X is equal to 1 is a year. See, this is a number written. This is a reactance circle. This is reactance circle. So reactance value is 1 is given and resistance value minus 1. And it is not plus 1. You see, the value given is minus 1. So minus 1 means here below. So this is a minus 1 and this is a 2 intersection of those two. R is equal to 2 circle and X is equal to 1 circle. This is a point. So we marked here. So this is a impedance here now. So we marked a impedance. It is an intersection of 2 circle and a reactance of minus 1 circle. Okay. So now to find the reflection coefficient, we should measure the distance from here, center of the, using scale you can measure center of the Smith chart to the here outermost this point what is the how many centimeters are there from here to here. Okay, how many centimeters are there from here to here. Okay, that is the same as here to here. OR. Next, what you have to do, you measure again using scale how many centimeters from here to here. Okay, to find the magnitude of the reflection coefficient. How many centimeters are there in your scale on the Smith chart? We measure, that is OP, and this is a OR. Take the ratio of those two. You see here, reflection coefficient OP divided by OR. Okay, it is a 0.45. From this one I have measured here, that is equal to 0.45 reflection coefficient. So you can easily find the magnitude of the reflection coefficient just by measuring distance from here to here and to the given load. What is the OR? OR means this is a OR from here to here and OP is from here to here. So that is a OP here. You take the scale only. Using scale, you have to measure how many centimeters. Okay, because centimeter cancels, remaining is a 0.45. You can use a radial scale also. I have already told that. We will see that also. Okay, this is easily you can do. So it is a 0.45 reflection coefficient magnitude. Magnitude, see I have noted here, magnitude of the reflection coefficient is 0.45. It is a complex number, reflection coefficient. It has an angle also. So magnitude of reflection coefficient is 0.45 and angle is, you should see here, this is extend this line here, okay, and 0 here, and from there to here how many degrees you see. So here is the angle values are given here, how many degrees. Okay, reflection coefficient angle, see here minus 20 degree here, and this is minus 30 here, so it is around minus 27 26 degree, 26.6 degree here. This 20, and if you go like this, it increases angle. So near to the 30, it is around 26.6 degree. Okay. So like that, you can read the reflection coefficient angle from here up to this, whatever the angle you can measure. This is negative. Okay. It is above is a positive here angles. So this is minus 26.6 degrees. So like that, you can measure the amplitude and magnitude of the reflection coefficient. So tau, you can measure magnitude of the tau and angle of tau. Okay, this using this procedure. For any load, you can do like this. For okay, for any load, you can do the reflection coefficient. So here, okay, so that is about measuring the reflection coefficient from the Smith chart. So for any given load, you can do like that. If they ask you to find a reflection coefficient, you can do that. You have to mark the load, and from the load point, you can find out the reflection coefficient. Okay, that is a procedure here. Next, to find the input impedance ZIN at any point on the transmission line. Okay, so here, see here, okay, before that we will see this VSWR. Okay, we will see this. To find VSWR, and maxima distance and minima distance. Okay, so here you already studied in the theory, as you move over a transmission line. See here, this is a transmission line here. As you start from the load, at the load position, impedance is equal to ZL. Okay, as you move like this, impedance changes. If you're looking in this direction, see this is the input impedance. If you look this direction, this is the input impedance. That input impedance changes as you move like this away from the a load impedance. See, this is a load. At the load point, it is equal to ZL, whatever it is. But as you move, okay, impedance changes. It doesn't remain same as in case of a simple short circuit. See, if you consider this as a simple short, then what happens? You measure impedance here, or anywhere. From here to here, the impedance is 2 plus J1 only. Okay, it remains constant. It doesn't changes. It behaves like a simple short. Okay, it is a like a short means without any amplitude and phase variation. Okay, that is if you measure impedance at any point, then it is equal to ZL only. But in case of if you treat the interconnect, see this interconnect as a transmission line, then impedance doesn't remain same. If you measure a impedance here, it is different from if you measure the impedance at this position. Okay, impedance changes, it doesn't remains the same. At this position it is equal to ZL, but as you move like this, impedance go on changes. Okay, and at some position, as the voltage changes, voltage also changes over a transmission line. Voltage doesn't remain same over the entire transmission line. And also current, we already studied those things in the previous semester. Okay, voltage changes, current also changes, impedance also changes as you move from the load ZL away from the load. If you move towards the generator, impedance changes. At some positions, impedance becomes zero, impedance become minimum. Okay, and impedance may increases to higher value. That is wherever voltage maxima is there, their impedance may become high. See like this is a voltage. Voltage is some value at the load position here. Okay, as you move away from the load, as you move like this away from the load, voltage varies like this. It is not remain same. It is like this. It is becoming minimum here voltage, and reaching increasing and reaches a maximum here. Okay, so voltage doesn't remain constant over the length of the transmission line, but it changes automatically. If a voltage changes means impedance also changes. As you move like this over a transmission line, impedance changes. Okay, and it becomes minimum at this position. Impedance, if you measure impedance here, if you measure the impedance, it is minimum here. And as you move like this, impedance changes. And once if you come here, impedance is maximum here. If you measure impedance, impedance is maximum. We already studied that in the previous semester. Okay, just to remember that impedance, minimum impedance occurs at a minima position, and it is equal to r naught by s. R naught by s, impedance at this position, minima position, is r naught by s. Okay, and similarly, and it is real at the minima position, impedance is minimum, and it is real value. Similarly, at maxima position, impedance is maximum, and it is equal to R naught into S. R naught means it is a real, because assuming lossless line, characteristic impedance is real. So instead of Z naught, we can call it as a R naught. Okay, R naught by R naught into S at this position, maxima position. Okay, so as you move like this, as you move away from the load point, impedance changes and it becomes minimum. Okay, so minimum means at some distance it is minimum. Impedance is minimum at a particular distance. For example, if you move like this, at a distance LM, okay, DM, RL is equal to 0, it is load ZL equal to. But if you move like this and if you measure here, impedance is minimum. Okay, so that is called as a first minima also. See, this is while moving away from here, impedance becomes minimum at this position, so that is called as first minima. First minima, and the distance of this first minima is from here to here is ln. Similarly, as and that impedance at this position is Z minimum. Z minimum, it is R naught divided by S, that we studied in the previous semester. Okay, remember all of you. And next, as you move like this, impedance increases and it becomes maximum here. And that is a maxima, first maxima, and it is at a particular distance from load. See here, as you move like this, we came across minima here. So this is first minima, and it is at a particular distance Lm from the load. Okay, you can measure this distance. At what distance that first minima is, and also as you further if you move, you will find a maxima. This is a first maxima. You can find out a impedance here. That is R naught into S theoretically. Okay, maximum value, and it is real. And also we can measure the distance from here to here. How much distance is there from load point to maxima? Okay, okay, because it is a transmission line. If it is a simple short, then here also impedance is a ZL only. If you measure, do not confuse here why I am saying impedance changes, it doesn't remain same. Impedance is minimum here and it is at a particular distance from the load. Similarly, maxima is at a particular distance and it is that value. Okay, no, Z maximum at a distance of Lm here. Okay, so at what distance this minima is, you can find out. And also at what distance this maxima is from the load, that also you can find out from the Smith chart. And also you can find out what is the impedance at this particular position and what is the impedance at this particular position, minima position. That also you can find out from the Smith chart. At what position, okay, or this at what position first minima occurs, at what distance the minima is, okay, at what distance this maxima is there, that you can find out. D max and D minimum you can find the from the Smith chart. And also you can find out what is the value of resistance, what is the value of impedance at the minima position, what is the value of impedance at the maxima position, that we can find out from the Smith chart. Okay, so here to do that, here for example, how to find the D maxima and D minima from the Smith chart. Okay, so this is a given load here. Load is given. See here, load is given here. Z2 plus J1. It is a normalized impedance. Okay, to find a VSWR maxima distance, minima distance, D minimum. Okay, this for a problem. If they ask you to find what is the maxima distance and minima distance and what is the VSWR. To do that, what you have to do, given load, you have to take a given load. It is a 2 plus J1. Okay, normalize it. This is a normalized given itself. Or you can find a normalized if they give a actual load. 2 plus J1, you mark it on the Smith chart. So this is a marking. Okay, 2 circle. This is a 2 circle. See here, 2 circle. And intersection with the reactance of 1 circle, plus 1. See, in the previous it was minus 1. That's why it was below in the previous example. Okay, in this problem they have given plus 1 here. That reactance is plus 1. So plus 1 means it is here plus 1. So intersection of this and the R is equal to 2 circle is here. So this is a load point. You should mark like this over the Smith chart, load point. Okay. So now taking this OA as a radius. See, this is a, as you know, O point, O, center of the Smith chart is a O. This is O. And take OA as a radius. Take OA as the radius and draw the circle. See, this is a circle. This is called as a VSWR circle. This circle is called as VSWR circle. How to draw it? First, you should mark the load. Okay. So mark the load. Then what you have to do? Take a radius equal to OA and draw the circle. See like this. This is called as VSWR circle. VSWR circle. So that VSW, once we draw this VSWR circle, you can use it to find the variation of voltage, impedance variation, and all those things. See, okay, so as we saw this, as we move away from the load, see like this, as we move away from the load, impedance varies, as I said. Okay, so it becomes minimum at some point and becomes maximum at some point. All those things will happen. Okay, so how to find theoretically? If you go for theoretical calculation, the equation you have to use. Okay, so that equation, it's lengthy equations to find out if you find out the impedance, because the x value you have to substitute at what distance you are measuring, because impedance changes with respect to distance. Okay, so that we need to measure the uh, uh, that x, at what distance you are measuring the impedance, you should substitute that in the equation, Zn equation, you have to get the impedance. Okay, that is a difficult task because it's a lengthy equation. So what we can do, see, to see how the impedance varies as you move like this, to move, as you move over a transmission line away from the load, you are moving towards the generator like this. What is the impedance variation? Okay, you can easily find that from the this Smith chart. See here, from here. So we marked like this a load here, and this is a VSWR circle like this. This is a VSWR circle. See, moving on VSWR circle. See like this, moving on VSWR circle is nothing but moving on a transmission line towards the generator in the clockwise direction. See, from the load point, moving on VSWR circle in the clockwise direction. So I am moving in a clockwise direction like this. It is nothing but moving on transmission line towards the generator like this. You started from the load, so we are moving like this. Okay, this is towards the generator. We are moving towards the, from here we are moving towards the generator like this. This is nothing but moving from load point over a VSWR circle in the clockwise direction. See like this. If you move like this is nothing but for a given problem. It is nothing but moving from load towards the generator. See like this. Starting from here, we are moving like this. Okay, in the clockwise direction. This is means we are started from load and moving towards the generator like this. Okay, so and as we move like this, finally we will come back to the load here. Okay, same position. See like this, we are moving like this. Okay, so here from started from here and I am moving like this. Okay, actually started from here and one circle moving towards the generator. It is nothing but moving towards the generator. See like this, you are moving like this. And if you make a one complete circle, see, if you one circle complete like this circle, starting from here or anywhere, if you do one circle, it is nothing but moving lambda by 2 distance, 0.5 lambda. See, start from here and you move like this. If you make a complete one circle like this over a VSWR, starting from the load anywhere, load may be anywhere, start from the load and come back to the load position, we are traveling a distance of lambda by 2, lambda by 2. Okay, that is 0.5 lambda. So here also, see here, starting from the load point, you travel a distance of lambda by 2, travel a distance of lambda by 2. Okay, that impedance changes, impedance changes. If you travel a distance of lambda by 2, this same impedance will repeat. That is a property of standing waves. Okay, we already studied that in the previous semester. You see like this. See, we started from here. You started from here. Okay, load point. You move like this. Go on moving like this. And once we come here, same voltage. You see, this voltage repeats again here. On the transmission line, this is a standing wave here. Okay, at the load point, what is the voltage here? This voltage is here. Okay, and it decreases, it reaches a minimum value and again increases, and it will take same value whatever at load position at this point also. See, here it will take the same value here. So what is the meaning of that? it is repeating the voltage is repeating again here on the transmission line. See, whatever the voltage at load position we are observing, the same value of voltage repeats here, repeats at this position, if you see here the same value it repeats here. That means the same impedance must be here. Whatever you are observing here, ZL must be here. So that's why same impedance, same voltage we are observing here. So that is actually if you move from load to here a distance of lambda by 2, the same voltage will repeat again at a distance of lambda by 2. Similarly, this value minima, see this is a minimum voltage. That minimum voltage will repeat again. See here, this minimum voltage will repeat again here. That means from here to here, that is equal to lambda by 2, 0.5 lambda. Okay, so every lambda by 2 distance, the values of impedance, current and voltages will repeat over a transmission line. That is a property of that standing waves, okay, traveling waves, standing wave pattern on the transmission line. So every lambda by 2 distance, the voltage, current and impedances will repeat. Okay, so if you start from the load, the same value of impedance, so impedance changes as you move like this, voltage changes, current changes, impedance also changes. So voltage we are observing here something, same voltage will repeat again after a lambda by 2 distance. So automatically whatever the impedance here should repeat at the lambda by 2 distance. Okay, so that is 0.5 lambda. So that is what we are observing here. We started from here and we moved, impedance changes you see here as you move like this. Okay, as I said, moving from load in the clockwise direction on the VSWR circle is similar to moving on transmission line towards the generator. See like this, you are moving like this. Okay, it is nothing but moving on a transmission line. See, as you know, as you see here, impedance is this is the impedance ZL here. As you move like this, impedance changes. You see here, impedance, as you move like this, impedance changes, and it will take us some value here, and it impedance changes. You can see what is the impedance here. For example here, it is at some distance from the load. From the load we moved a distance, some distance like this, we moved like this some distance. At this position, what is the impedance here? Impedance is, this is a true circle intersect with a 1 minus 1 here. So this position is 2 minus 1j. So we will be getting, see, if you move some distance over here, we will observe at some distance. Okay, you can measure what is the distance from here to here. As you know, already we studied. If you want to know, you draw a line like this, and from here we moved a distance of this much. Okay, from here to here, you can measure from here to here how much distance is there. Okay, at that distance the impedance is 2 minus j1 here. So impedance here is something. If you move like this, impedance at some this position is something, and also at this position you see, if you move like this, see I am moving like this, at this position impedance is some value, it is reactance is 0 here, reactance 0, but resistance value maybe something. You read from the Smith chart. So here this is 2 here, this is a 4 here, 2 4 and this is a 3, this circle is 3, so it is around 2.6 here, 2.67 something. Okay, 2.6. Okay, this position 2.6 impedance value. So impedance is 6 here, 0.6 point 2.6, impedance is 2.6 normalized impedance, and impedance changes like this. Okay, so you can find the impedance variation. You can, if you move like this is nothing but moving like this. Here we cannot read a impedance here, but you can read impedance over here. Okay, how the impedance variation is there, that you can read from here. That is impedance of this, that is the impedance of this. So and started from the load position, we will observe as we move like this, you will be come across this is a impedance here, and impedance changes. Impedance will reach a maximum value, it may take a minimum value, and after lambda by 2 distance, point lambda by 2 distance 0.5 lambda, same value will repeat. See, will be come back to the point A, because this load value will repeat after a lambda by 2 distance. So as I said, if you start from any point like this, if you complete one circle like this, the distance traveled is zero point 0.5 lambda. Complete this moment is a zero point 0.5 lambda. So started from here and come back to the point. Okay, so we traveled a distance of 0point 0.5 lambda. So automatically the same impedance will repeat here. So started from load point, if we travel a lambda by 2 distance, this is same value, same whatever ZL must repeat here. So that's why here the Smith chart is there. It is a zero point 0.5 lambda. It is because of that periodicity of the impedance variation, voltage and current variation. The variation is shown. The Smith chart is only for 0.5 lambda. 0.5 lambda, this entire. So I already told in the previous semester, moving from here towards the generator is like this, and towards the load is like this. See here, towards load is like this in the anti-clockwise direction. Starting from here towards load means this way we have to move in the anti-clockwise direction. Towards generator means in the clockwise direction. Okay, so starting from load, if you move in the clockwise direction means starting from the load towards the uh, generator, we are moving like this. Okay, this is towards the generator, and it is written on the Smith chart. See here, towards the generator, wavelength towards generator. So here is a wavelength is provided here 0.46, 0.45. This is a wavelength measurement 0.44, 0.43. Okay, wavelength scale here. Similarly, this is towards the load here. It is the wavelength scale is written here. And you can start from, see, this is a 0 here and it increases here. Okay. Sorry, here, wavelength, sorry, not this one. Okay, here. 0.04, sorry, this one. It is written here. Okay. So if you complete, come to here, it is 0.25. 0.25 here. See here, up this value. This is the value written. Okay, so this is a 0.25 here, 0.25. So 0.25 from here to here is 0.25, and again from here to here 0.25, that is a 0.5. See, 0.49, this is a 0.5. So one complete circle if you travel, we will be traveling a distance of 0.5 lambda. Okay, on the Smith chart. So you started from here and moved like this and come back to the position here. So we traveled a distance of 0.5. So automatically, if you travel over a Smith chart, okay, if you travel over a Smith chart, so if you travel over a transmission line a distance of lambda by 2, this load will repeat again. ZL will repeat again here. So same thing happening here. And the values again repeated means these values will repeat again and again if you do the circle over this. That is on the transmission line. Okay, so 1 lambda by 2 moment is enough over the Smith chart. You can observe all possible variations of impedance over the Smith chart. Okay, so now we got now how to measure the impedance. For example, I want to measure at some distance. For example, L is given. What is the impedance at a particular distance? So if a distance is given on the Smith chart, on the transmission line, okay, you can easily measure the impedance variation at that particular position. For example, zero point 0.1 lambda. What is the impedance at zero point 0.1 lambda from the load ZL? For example, the question may be like this. Okay. Uh, okay, yeah, here. Okay, so here you see now what is the input at a distance of 0.1 lambda. Okay, load is given. Okay, just it is some load is 2 minus j1. Okay, instead of this load 2 plus j1, later 2 minus j1 is there. 2 minus j1, this is a load given for this problem. Okay, I have done that in this problem. What is that? To find the input impedance Zn at any point on the transmission line. To find input impedance Zn at any point on the transmission line. Okay, this is a transmission line given. Load is connected. What is the load here? 2 minus J1. So what you have to do? You mark this load on the Smith chart. 2 minus J1. That is this point. 2 minus J1. That is 2 circle here. Minus 1 circle is this. So we marked that load on the transmission line. So load is here now. Okay, so from here that means see, from load if you move like this, load towards the generator, that is nothing but, see, starting from load, move like this is nothing but moving towards the generator on a transmission line. Okay, so now if you want to see the impedance, if you want to see impedance variation over a transmission line, you can see that from the Smith chart. See, because you started from the load, we are moving like this. You can observe there are impedance variation is there. Impedance variation, because impedance is something here, impedance here. You can read the impedance here because it is an intersection of, say for example, what is the impedance here? You can read it here because it is an intersection of 1.6 circle and the reactance circle of some value, whatever it is here, 1.1 or something. Okay, so like that you can read impedance here. You can read the impedance whatever here also we can read, and also we can read the distance also. Okay, see how it is, you see now. So this is a load point given. Okay, I marked it here. In the question it is asked what is the input impedance at a distance of 0.1 lambda. The question is what is the input impedance at a distance of 0.1 lambda from the load. This is a load here. If I move like this 0.1 lambda, that means this one I have taken from here to here is 0.1 lambda. From here, from load point, I travel a distance of 0.1 lambda. You measure what is the impedance here. What is the impedance here? Okay. To measure that, you cannot do that from here. Okay. Because you have to use a mathematical equation, Zn equation. There we have to substitute and simplify the equation. Okay. All those things. But in the Smith chart, you can easily find out what is the impedance at a distance of 0.1 lambda from the load. From here to here is 0.1 lambda. What is the impedance here? I can read easily from the Smith chart. How to do that? You mark this 2 minus 1j. You are marked here. Okay, and I extend that line. See like this. This is our point, load point. I extended. It is intersecting here. See, this is a wavelength scale. This is a wavelength scale here, somewhere here. Okay, this is a wavelength scale, this upper part. What the generator scale here is. Okay, so this is intersecting somewhere here. Now what I have to do, from here, load, from the load, I should move like this, a distance of 0.1 lambda. That means from here, you see here, from here you move like this, a distance of 0.1. 0.1 means, see here, each division represents a 0.01. See, if you move from any bigger division, from here to here, from here to here, what is the distance here? 0.29, 0.3. So how much you moved from here to here? 0.01 lambda. If you move from 1.2 next to bigger division, the distance is 0.01 lambda. So smaller division is 0.005 lambda because 5 divisions are there. See, from here to here, there are 5 divisions are there. Okay, zero point 0.5 lambda, 0.005 lambda from here to here. From here to here, 0.005 lambda. But from here to here, bigger division, it is 0.01 lambda. 0.01 means how many divisions I should move to get a 0.1? 10 divisions. So from here, so this is a load point. Okay, this is a wavelength scale here. From here, what you should do, you should move 10 divisions. See, for approximately, this is a from here to here, some point 001 is there from here to here. Okay, starting from here, for example, here to here, one division, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, because here it is little bit behind here. Okay, so you should stop here, two divisions behind the 10. So automatically from here to here 10 divisions we moved. 10 divisions means it is point 1. Each division is 0.01. So from here, if you move 10 division on the wavelength scale, see like this. Because we are behind 0.29. Okay. That's why what we did, starting from here, if you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10, but you are little bit behind, so you should take little bit behind here. So you are moving at 10 divisions here. Okay, you can count that. Otherwise, what we can do, you read the value here. What is here? 0.29. Okay, 0.28. And how many divisions are there? 1, 2, 3. Each division is 0.005. 0.005. Here is how many divisions here? 3. 3 approximately something. You count how many divisions. Okay, to this you add 0.1. 0.1. So that is 0.395. 0.395. See, 0.395 will be approximately here. 0.375 something. Okay, so that point you should stop here. Okay, so 0.1. So like this, you are moving. How many distance you have to move? 0.1 lambda. So from here, you travel a distance of 0.1 lambda. Okay, then from there you draw a line to intersect the VSW. We already drawn this in VSWR circle. This is a VSWR circle we were already drawn. That is by taking YI as radius, you draw a circle. That is a VSWR circle. So you load point, you extend. From there, you travel a distance of 0.1 lambda, approximately 10 divisions from here. 10 divisions from here, and draw a line to the center of the Smith chart. So it intersect VSWR circle somewhere here. Now read the impedance here. Read the impedance here, whatever it is. Okay, that is the impedance at this position. That is the impedance at 0.1 lambda from the load. Okay, so it is whatever here is a B. It is 0.4. Resistance value is 0.4. 0.4. What is the resistance value? 0.6 here. Okay, this is the point. This point. How to read? Resistance circle value 0.6 here. Okay, and reactance circle value. See, reactance circle resistance is 0.6. Reactance value is here. That is 0.7 here. 0.6 is here. So this value is 0.6. Okay, 0.65. Okay, this is 0.8, 0.91. This is 0.65. This value is 0.65 minus 0.65. The value is minus 0.65. So reactance value is minus 0.65 and resistance value is a 0.6. 0.6 minus 0.65. That is the impedance at this position. So what is the impedance here now? That is from the Smith chart. It is 0.6 minus 0.65. See here, 0.6 minus 0.66. Okay, so this is a impedance at a 0.1 lambda. Okay, so you can easily find what is the impedance of on the transmission line from the Smith chart. Any given distance, it is given 0.1. So from the load towards the generator only we should move, because we are moving towards the generator like this. So it is from the load point you should move in the clockwise direction. Okay, given distance. Okay, you know already I clearly told all these things in the previous semester. Please go through the slides, previous semester slides. Okay, so easily you can mark the distance, and from there you draw a line. It intersect VSWR at some point. So whatever the impedance on the VSWR circle at point B, okay, that gives the impedance at this position. So for any given distance like this, you can find impedance on a Smith chart. Okay, see like this. Again, if you travel a zero point 0.5 lambda, see what is the impedance at 0.5 lambda from the load. For example, 0.1 is given, this is a impedance. If they ask you to find out what is the impedance at a distance of 0.5 lambda, what you have to do, starting from here, you should move a zero point 0.5 lambda. 0.5 lambda means you will be come back to this point only. Okay, so that is equal to this value, 2.15. Okay, so like that, you can read the impedance from the Smith chart easily. Okay. Uh, Similarly, you can find out the distance of minima and maxima. See like this. Distance of minima, maxima also you can find out. So, for example, here in this problem itself, while moving and Smith, this is a as you know, impedance varies over this. If you move like this, impedance varies over a transmission line. So, starting from load point started from load point, we are moving like this. So as we move like this, impedance changes. Okay, and impedance changes. See, for example, if you come here, what is the impedance here? It is the impedance on the Smith chart. Okay, on the transmission line, sorry, it is a impedance so you started from load, impedance changes. Okay, and we come to some point here. Okay, that is some point on the on the transmission line. That is some point we started from load, we moved like this. That means we moved like this, and we reached some point here. Okay, what is the impedance here? It is a point 0.4 return, point 0.4 only at this position. Okay, point 0.4 is written. Okay, so you can observe this is point 0.4 is the minimum value of impedance over a transmission line. See, as we move like this, some minimum value will be there, minimum impedance we will observe. That minimum value you will observe because as you move like this, all impedance values are greater than this value. All impedances you take, measure impedance over this VSWR circle. See, we are moving like this over a VSWR circle. This is nothing but moving on a transmission line. So you measure impedance at any point over a on a VSWR circle. All those values are greater than this value. Here like this, you take any value, see like this, all those values are greater than this value. That means this is the minimum impedance value. This is the minimum impedance on the transmission line. See like this, as you move like this. Okay, as you move like this, at some position, see like this, some distance we travel from the load, we travel like this, and we reach this position. At this position we observed a very low value of impedance. Okay, that value will not repeat anywhere over the over the VSWR circle. This is a minimum value what we can observe on the VSWR circle. That means that is a minimum impedance. Impedance as you move like this also. Because moving on VSWR circle means moving on transmission line. So at this position we observed minimum value of impedance. Okay, that is the minimum value. So yeah, because this is 0.4. Okay, so like that, so you can find out at what distance this minima, that means the first minima you may have see. As you might move like this, minimum impedance occurs at minima position. Okay, so starting from load, wherever minima is there you go. Actually always it is at a left side of the VSW, left side of the Smith chart, wherever VSWR circle cuts the horizontal line of this Smith chart. Okay, there occurs a minimum impedance. Okay, see like this, here minimum impedance. So this is the minimum position. Okay, we will see this in the next class. We will continue these things in the next class.